Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm going to go over an update on my 65 tall aquarium here. I just picked up 3 rope fish. You can see one of them in the bottom right there. One of my all-time favorite fish. I've had them in the past and came across a great deal. A really great guy, one of my Facebook fish groups is rehoming a bunch of fish, and he raised these 3 rope fish. He said they were quite small. I can't remember, maybe even 2 inches. I've only seen them in stores at least, 8-10 inches. And these 3 are, pretty much full grown. They might get another inch or 2 maybe. I see 2 of them out. The third, I just got them yesterday, so they're still getting used to this new tank. And if you go back to my other 65 gallon, you can see I've rescaped this tank just a little bit. And I actually just rescaped the 120 and pulled that large plant on the right out of the 120. And I'll do a feature video on these ropefish. They're a very cool fish. A couple things I'll say about them right now. They're similar to a lot of freshwater eel, even though the fire eel and all the zigzag eel, all the different types of eels, they're not true eels. They're actually a type of fish. I think there's only one true eel. Maybe it's the like the brackish moray eel. That's technically freshwater, but it's brackish, so half fresh, half salt. But yeah, all the eels in the hobby are really fish. And I have a small, maybe 6-inch fire eel, and even smaller, maybe 4-inch zigzag. And if I were to feed her now, they'd come out. And I'll do another video on them. The fire eel is usually hiding underneath this driftwood, but I don't see. There's all 3 now, and as you can see, they're just really cool fish. It's like one of the coolest oddball fish. They're called ropefish, reed fish. I'm sure they have other common names. But yeah, this has just been a really random tank for me. It's been kind of my dump tank, and it's up in my bedroom, and I really wanted a feature fish. And my wife is really into snakes. And she was really loved the ropefish we had in the past. She likes the eels in here. She just really likes that type of movement and shape and form in an animal. So I knew getting 3 ropefish would be a really cool feature fish for this tank, and it definitely hasn't disappointed. They're fairly active. I've seen them all 3 dancing around like this one is now. The other 2 are just chilling right now, which they'll do from time to time. But they are technically a schooling fish, which is cool. They do hang out in groups, and they're happier in groups. And I've always only kept 1, and they'll still swim around like this one is. But I think like most fish that are schooling or that are shoaling, of course they're gonna enjoy being with other fish. And I did have 2 other rainbows, which of course they like as many rainbows as you can fit in a tank. I'm going to get 2 more just for this rainbow to have some friends. I have 3 of these Denison barbs. There's a couple random mollies. Again, this has been kind of a collaboration with my wife, and that's part of the hobby sometimes, depending on your situation, on your life, on your house, the way it's set up. I'm married, so I have to make agreements about things. It's not, we have a pretty a fair decision making. So in order to get this tank, she needed some buy-in. So some of the things that she really wanted were some mollies, and platies, and there are a couple of frogs, which the ropefish definitely will put into jeopardy. But we agreed that that would be a risk worth taking. Same with there's 2 panda cories. Again, it's just a random dump take. That's what it's become really as I've shuffled tanks around. Yeah, that ropefish definitely, it could eat that cory cat, and again, I wouldn't be mad at it for doing so. We're committed to these ropefish as the featured fish, and we'll fill out the rest of the stock around it. We have just like a run-of-the-mill betta. Got a couple snails, and there's a fancy goldfish in there as well. If I spot a frog, I'll surely point it out. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you a quick update on the 65. You know, it's a pretty simple tank. I'm just running one sponge filter that's rated for 125 gallons, one little nano Powerhead in the top left there to create some water agitation. You can see, let's see, yeah, there it is. And then it has just, you know, I got this off Craigslist a while back for a really good price. And so it's like a basic stand and basic lights. But, you know, it's a great featured tank in my opinion. 65 tall. When I first got in the hobby, I really liked long tanks. I thought long tanks were king. And I've really changed my mind on that. I really like tall tanks. Mainly because they're just so much more enjoyable to look at. You know, most show tanks are very tall. And when you really think about it at the end of the day, like, what are you doing when you're enjoying your aquarium? You're looking at it. So I've really become a believer in tall tanks. There's a little clown pleco that I got that fish a long time ago. Oh, there it is. And that thing, I mean, it's probably full grown. I think maybe it says 4 inches, but I swear that thing's only like 2, 3, maybe 3. But it's a cool pleco. Doesn't really clean much, really. Bristlenose, if you really want a pleco that cleans, bristlenose are the best, if you did not know. The albinos are just as good as the regulars, and there's some fancy ones like long fin and whatnot. But bristlenose, I have a big bristlenose in the 120, and a smaller one in the 29 gallon, with the 2 convicts that are breeding right now. So yeah, just giving you a quick update here. These 3 roatfish are now the feature fish, and we'll keep adding some stock to kind of round it out. And and there's a frog going up for air. 2 frogs at the same time going up for air. These are just your standard African dwarf frogs that you get at, you know, Petco, PetSmart, nothing fancy. But my wife really likes them. And again, they're pretty big. They're full grown. They're all of an inch, you know. But this roatfish, they are predatory. Last thing I'll say about them, I will do a separate video on them, but the reason I have my water a little bit low is they are some of the best escape artists in the fish hobby. And so you got to make sure your top is super tight, and for extra precaution, my top is very sealed, but extra precaution, you lower the water just a little bit, it makes it even harder for them if you got one that is really trying to be Houdini. Okay, everybody, if you got any questions, just let me know. Any comments, appreciate it. Hit that like button and subscribe, and that will help me keep pumping out the videos. All right, appreciate it. Take care.